All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get started. If you have a question, just go ahead and shout it out.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
All right, how are you?
Doing good, doing good. I wanted to ask about Eric Isle's wrist. I was wondering, was that the injury he sustained? Was that something that occurred during the Iowa game, or this was maybe something that's been lingering for a couple of weeks now?
I want to say it was the Iowa game. Yeah, I believe it was the Iowa game. And so, he's just kind of getting back into form. Obviously, it was good to have him out on the court the other night, especially down the stretch, to have his leadership and experience to handle their pressure. Not a great night for him in terms of scoring the basketball, but his presence was big for us. And it gave us a chance to have some success down the road. So practice today, he looked pretty good today, and hopefully he'll go in and see the trainer and didn't get knocked up or banged around too bad where he has any type of setback.
And I think he only took 2 shot attempts. I'm sorry, I don't have like the stat sheet on me right now, but I was curious. Do you think maybe because of the wrist injury, maybe he was a little bit more hesitant to be aggressive on the offensive end?
I would probably say that might have something to do with it. I think also too, he's making some good plays. I think he had 3 assists at one point. I don't know if he finished with 3 or not. So, his playmaking ability was really big in that regard. And, Eric is a seasoned basketball player. He scored the ball at a high level in a very tough league for a very long time. And, when he feels comfortable enough to want to shoot it, he's going to shoot it, and we're not going to stop him from shooting it because we need him to shoot it. So, hopefully he gets back out there next game and we get some attempts for him and he feels comfortable shooting the basketball.
Danny, Dave Preston here, WTOP Radio. Good afternoon. Penn State ranks 3rd in the Big Ten in as far as fewest points allowed. What do they do defensively that makes them special on that side of the floor?
Well, they do a really good job of standing in front of the basketball. And then, they've got a big fella in the middle who's a load, who does a great job of rim protection. Not necessarily always above the rim, but a presence, walling off the rim and making sure that his guards know that they can get up and pressure the basketball because he's the last line of defense. And, those are the things that they do really, really well. I think, Mike has done a terrific job in incorporating his system into what they're trying to do, and they're still developing and growing, but it's really starting to click in because they're very tough and a gritty team.
Jalen Pickett also coming over from Siena. He had 20 against Minnesota, leads them in scoring and rebounding. And here's a kid who was in a different conference a year ago. What do you like about him from what you've seen?
Very aggressive basketball player in terms of scoring the basketball. Does a terrific job of getting into the paint, comes off ball screens, able to keep guys on his hip, still pro with the dribble, athletic enough to get a shot up, good enough vision to find guys, whether he's dropping it down to the big fella or kicking it out to the shooters. And then, his change of speed is really, really impressive as well when he comes off those ball screens and in the open court. So we've got our hands full. We have to do a really good job of making sure we can test his shots and do the best we can as far as staying in front of him.
Thank you.
Sure. Anybody else? Short day for me? Is that it?
I'll go again. I don't know anyone else.
You don't have to if you don't want to now.
No, I do. I want to ask about Ian Martinez, just going back from his performance, from a couple of days. Oh, my bad. From a couple of days ago. Just describe can you just talk a little bit more about his performance and just how comfortable did he look offensively in that game?
Well, if we go back to, was it the Northwestern game that Ian got knocked around, and you come off of concussion-like symptoms, and it takes a while. And he kind of fell out of the rotation. I like the way certain things were going. He continued to come into practice and work hard. Played really, really well the other night. Defensively, his hands were very active. Got in the passing lanes, created some steals and transition opportunities for us in the fast break. Did a really good job defensively of getting over ball screens. Ian's athleticism really helped us out. And, we'll continue to need those types of contributions from him. But the way he played against Nebraska is the Ian that we all want to continue to see. And hopefully we will as we continue to move forward through the rest of this Big Ten slate.
And you was talking about the concussion back back earlier in the season. I was wondering from what you've seen from him, whether in like a practice or a game, was there like a particular moment when you started to see like he start looking like his more aggressive and older self?
Well, I think he's always shown flashes of it. I think now it's longer, sustained periods of it. Understanding, Ian is similar to Fats in the sense of not a true point guard, more of a scoring guard. Understanding the offense better, understanding who you're playing with, picking and choosing when you need to press and go make something happen, when you need to facilitate. But the biggest thing to me that Ian brings to our team is his athletic ability defensively, guarding the basketball, getting over picks, contesting shots at a high point, contesting shots at the rim as well. And his anticipation defensively makes him an elite defender. And, we're going to continue to need his offense, but his defense really sets him apart in terms of what he's able to do out there on the court.
Oh, and I wanted to ask about Fats. I remember earlier in the season, it was talked about how he was going to get less of a scoring type role with the other guys around him. But over this recent stretch, he's been really aggressive in terms of attacking the ball, even shooting the ball. I believe averaging like over 22 points over the last 3 games. Just how important has his performance and his aggressiveness on not only the offensive end, but the defensive end and generating steals has helped. It has helped so far, and it's going to be needed as you guys close out the season.
Well, everybody's roles are always fluid. They always change. A lot of it could be based upon how the team is playing. Some of it's how you're playing. Some of it is who's available and who's not available. So when Eric goes out, we're losing one of our leading scorers, and we have to distribute those shots somewhere else. And, Fats is a guy to me that I think he's a scoring guard. I don't think he's a 2 guard. I don't think he's a point guard. I think he's a scoring guard. And he scored the basketball at a very high clip, scored a lot of points, and he's got a really good feel now for facilitating the offense, but also when to be aggressive and go make something happen. Fats also is one of our leaders in drawing fouls and helping us get to the free throw line in bonus situations. And so for me, I tell him every game, go be you. That's who we need you to be. Go be you. And, we trust your decision-making out there to put us in the best situation to be successful.
I have one. I was just kind of wondering, past 2 games have been much strong defensive performances, even though the last game, there was a little bit of that fouling situation. When you look now into this last stretch, what do you hope to kind of continue to see build off those? And how do you think the team can kind of continue that strong defensive push while also kind of holding back on those fouls?
A lot of it depends on who's reffing the game. There are like 60 damn fouls called the last time we played. So they were calling on both sides, right? I mean, so, understanding who was out there, defensively, the rule of thumb is play defense with your head and your feet and keep your hands out of it, play with wide hands. We have to stay in front of the basketball. We have to contest the ball. And that's going to be a tough challenge for us against Penn State because they got a couple guards that do a great job of getting downhill. Then they got some guys that can make some shots. But for us, the simple formula is defend and rebound. Stay in front of the basketball, contest shots, and then you go rebound it. And, that's kind of been working for us along with all the intricate details of our scouting report, knowing personnel. But at the end of the day, you have to stay in front of the basketball. You have to play defense with your head and your feet and keep your hands out of the mix.
Thank you.
All good, guys? Anything else? All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
We'll see
Thank
you
you.
tomorrow.